3 minutes to go. This could be it. This could be the winner from Basham. It is! 2-0 Southampton. The Saints are alive. And they escape from hell.
Second goal for Southampton from substitute Steve Basham.
Right on the 90-minute mark, a young striker, Stephen Basham, compounds the misery for Blackburn Rovers.
There's always going to be a tough game coming.
Boydonk is still trying to learn the art of how to win friends and influence people. David Ginola, of course, is a past master at it, the fans' favourite at White Hart Lane. And though he might not have won many friends in the Forest team, he certainly influenced the result of this match. It was Ginola who created most of Tottenham's openings, and from this cross, Chris Armstrong should have done better. Ginola's guile was too much for Steve Stone. The Forest man hauled him down and got a yellow card midway through the first half, and that was to prove significant. As the first half ended, Armstrong missed another glorious opening, and as the second half began, the Stone-Ginola show resumed. An off-the-ball push, Ginola down and not willing to get up for the moment. Referee Steve Lodge consulted his assistant before flourishing the red card, and that despite an apparent plea from Tottenham's Colin Calderwood.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to rely on the video because I went upstairs to take my seat for the second half, and as I was just walked through the doors, the referee was walking towards the linesman, and I really wasn't certain what had happened. And then I see him, brandish a yellow and the red, and Steve Stone was off, so I didn't see it. But the players are well upset. They think it's a scandalous decision.
Well, scandalous was probably a good description of this challenge. Van Hooijdonk diving in, down went Ginola again. A yellow card for the Dutchman. Forest were at full stretch, and eventually they cracked. Ginola's raw pace took him round the back, and Armstrong got enough on the ball to make it count. Ginola just too much of a handful for Forest's hard-pressed back line, and for Armstrong it was finally third time lucky.
A great run by David. He's gone past a couple of men and pulled it back to the near post. Gav just got there to come off, I don't know, just come off the keeper and looped in, so I was pleased to see it go in. Had a couple of chances that I'd missed earlier on, so nice to score.
The fans here love to see David playing and love to see him taking defenders on, and today, you saw the way that if he beat a player, he was getting a quality cross, and if he was cutting inside, getting a shot, defenders were doubling up on him, and he was drawing a foul or whatever. So he was at his best today, and it must be very frustrating and very difficult to be up against that.
It was, but Forest just wouldn't learn their lesson about Ginola. Having slipped over once, the Frenchman got to his feet and was promptly wrestled to the ground again by Scott Gemmell. The yellow card inevitably followed. And from Darren Anderton's resulting free kick, Allan Nielsen buried the header for 2-0. A good free kick from the England man, Nielsen, with his 5th goal of the season. Well, by now, Ginola really fancied his chances. A mazy run and an outrageous shot. Had Dave Pheasant scrabbling, but 2-0 is how it stayed.
David got so much talent.
Leeds built on their victory over Liverpool at Anfield 7 days previously with a comprehensive win over Charlton. Leeds moved ahead 11 minutes before half-time with Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink 7th of the season and 4th in 4 matches. Charlton nearly went into the half-time break on level terms, but Nigel Martin denied the Londoners an equaliser with a marvellous save from Carl Tyler's shot. Leeds never looked back. Early in the second half, they added a second. Harry Kewell's lob released Lee Bowyer, who took great delight in scoring against the club he left 2 years ago for £2.6 million. Charlton came back into the match with the best goal of the afternoon. Substitute Paul Mortimer firing past Martin to make it 2-1. But Charlton's hopes of a comeback were dashed just 2 minutes later, when Leeds restored their 2-goal advantage. 18-year-old Allan Smith made it 2 goals in 2 games for him, and 3-1 to Leeds. 2 minutes from the end, Leeds scored a 4th. Lee Bowyer released Harry Kewell, who kept his nerve to round Sasa Ilic for his 4th of the season. Leeds' 3rd successive Premiership victory. Leeds 4, Charlton 1.
No game against Leicester's easy anymore. The Foxes have already avoided defeat against each of the top 3 and had the better of the early stages against 4th place Chelsea. Ed de Hoy at his best to deny Graham Fenton and Matt Elliott. But Leicester's early domination counted for nothing, and they were punished. Bjarni Goldbeck's cross eluding Steve Walsh and Casey Keller. Gianfranco Zola's chest putting Chelsea ahead. The punishment was soon doubled. Roberto Di Matteo getting a cross in at the second attempt. Second time lucky as well for Gustavo Poyet. The goal, like Poyet's celebration, looked like a knockout blow. But the two-goal lead lasted only 24 seconds. Chelsea managed just 2 touches of the ball before Leicester scored. The Foxes needing only 17 of their own. Steve Guppy's cross diverted by Matt Elliott, and Muzzy's reply could hardly have been more immediate. But any hopes of a comeback were short-lived. Celestine Babayaro's chances of winning miss of the season lessened by Tore Andre Flo's finish after Zola had beaten the wall and Casey Keller. But again, Leicester refused to lie down. This time Chelsea's failure to clear their lines exposed magnificently by Steve Guppy. The final word was left to the final minute. Only then did Chelsea know they'd succeeded where the top 3 had failed. Zola outpacing former teammate Frank Sinclair to extend their unbeaten run to 17 matches. Leicester 2, Chelsea 4.
Middlesbrough dominated this game, but it took them until the 66th minute to turn that superiority into a goal. Dean Gordon's first since his summer move from Crystal Palace. Noel Whelan brought the best out of home keeper Mark Schwarzer with a rare Coventry attempt on goal. But 7 minutes from the end, Hamilton Ricard's 9th league goal this season made it 7 games without defeat for Borough. Though there was a hint of handball along the way. City slip a place to 16th as Borough climbed to an impressive 6th in the Premiership. Middlesbrough 2, Coventry City 0.
There, and you do this, and you do that, and Paul Kitson, former Derby player, you pass to Al Berkovich, and you pass to John Hartson, and you put it in the net. Good work, man. Hartson got the goal. That is his 3rd goal of the season. Especially sweet for Hartson. He was sent off last year against Derby for punching Igor Stimac, but as you see again, only thing he punched here was the ball into the net. Second half now, West Ham attacking. Berkovich again, passing to the Frenchman, Mark Keller, and Keller doing the leg work. Surfing the net, up top. His first goal for the club. He got it in. It was nice and strong. And West Ham on the way. Redknapp getting the congrats and the 3 points.